Hello, Starseeds. This is Nicki from EnlightenMyWorld TV, and this is our very first weekly reading for Starseeds. I was asked by Spirit to specifically start doing readings for Starseeds because, well, you are the awakened, and now is the time that your mission has begun. You're kind of like an activated spy, I guess. And so this reading is for anyone who was guided to it. And odds are, if you were guided here, you are a Starseed, or you're supposed to be working with the Starseed Collective. I'm going to be using 4 decks today. The first, Nature's Whispers by Angela Hatfield and Josephine Whale. I will be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot and Messages from Your Angels. And then finally, for our assignment cards, I will be using the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. And just because it's Divine Feminine does not mean in any way, shape, or form that this reading is only for females or feminines. It just means that that is the energy of our week's guidance. It will be energy of receptivity, observation, kind of taking in our environment as opposed to making change just yet. Okay? So I'm going to start by getting the energy for this week. Oh my goodness, all these cards are falling all over the place. Okay. So I'm going to get the energy. Okay, we have Rhea. Yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. So let's get a clarifier card with that. Some tarot. What I'm feeling is it's kind of going with what I said about why I was guided to use the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. It's that this week you're not really supposed to be making any great changes because there are some significant great changes coming, and what Spirit is telling us is that we're supposed to be receptive to it, to let the changes happen as opposed to trying to control them or trying to activate anything or to feel the need to be doing. Right now is the time to kind of be preparing and be ready for the next steps, be ready to take on our mission, but this is a time of peace and receptivity and really self-care. This week, definitely, I'm getting a lot of information, and actually the reason I was even guided to start doing the Starseed cards at all, or I'm sorry, Starseed readings at all, was mainly because of this fact that it is a time of taking care of yourself this week, and making sure your needs are met. I'm drawn to the cards when you get on a plane, and they have the cards in the front pocket of the seat that the stewardess or steward, the flight attendants, will go over, and in the emergency procedures. And it always says when the oxygen tanks, the oxygen masks, fall from the above compartment, that you're to put on your own before you put on that of any dependent or child near you. Reason being that if you don't get the oxygen on your face in time, you're not going to have time to put it on anybody else, and then everybody's in trouble. And this is one of those weeks. This is a time to be, if you're going to do a detox or cleanse, this is a good week to start doing it. Start doing it this weekend. If you're going to do any kind of dietary changes or anything like that, so those kind of actions you can take because they're self-care. Go get a mani-pedi. Take a salt bath. Go get a massage. Get a chiropractor adjustment. Maybe buy yourself a little treat, a new outfit or a piece of jewelry. Nothing expensive, just a little pampering of the self. That's where the energy is, and what Spirit wants us to understand for this week. For clarifier card, I'm getting the King of Water, which is typically the King of Cups in this particular deck. And this is, the King of Cups is not an open person. He can flow with emotion and he understands his feelings, but he doesn't necessarily do anything about them or act on them, or he kind of keeps them reserved to himself because he has control. He's mastered control of his emotions. And that's kind of where you are right now. You're in that time where you can care for yourself and you can love yourself, because it's so important in these next few months. There's going to be so many changes and you're going to feel such a shift within yourself and within your mission and within your purpose. A maturity has happened, and you're going to find that you slide into this goal, this path so easily that it isn't going to be difficult and hardworking. This is where we begin our path, where we are working smart, not hard. And that's the King of Cups. He's the guy that works smart, not hard. He's conscientious of other people. He's a protector and a nurturer, but he does it in a quietness and a reservedness and with love. So that's that energy we're supposed to be, mastering ourselves, mastering our gifts, but sitting quietly and observing, ready to act when it's time, when we're pushed into action, when the changes happen and we need to step up. Okay? And then I also pulled the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Earth in this particular tarot deck. And I think that's just letting us know that this is what's about to happen here. We know the new beginning is coming. We know great change is coming into our lives. We can all feel it. If you're a starseed, this is not news to you. You know that there are some significant shifts coming toward you right now in this time. And we are just meant to be prepared, to be ready for it, and to let it happen, and be ready to step in and take our role and reap the benefits of that, reap the abundance that comes with that. And I do think that a big part of this too is preparing ourselves. I'm getting a strong grounding vibration that, especially when you think of doing yoga and exercise and things that are essential to the well-being and peace of the body, a lot of grounding work is that too. Yoga is grounding. Though this is the King of Water, you know, we don't want to be too emotional. We don't want to be too involved, and that grounding is going to help that. And I think before we get to the next step, where we're about to engage in these massive shifts and these massive changes that are about to happen to us, and activating us into our roles, into our mission, it's time to ground ourselves and really get ready, as well as being grateful for the abundance that's given to us and we have present, we've had in the past, with this knowing that it's only going to continue. The abundance and the gifts and the wonderfulness that we've been bestowed are just going to keep on coming. And we're going to keep doing our work, because that's what we were put here for. Those of us who are starseeds of the light, it is our mission to serve others. And we tend to be in fields where we heal, where we educate, where we give care to, where we nurture. Those tend to be the fields that we're drawn to as starseeds, and or in some capacity in our life. We are caregivers, we are lovers, we are givers, we are serving the collective. And this is a time to kind of relish in that a little bit, and be proud of yourself and pat yourself on the back. Do a little bit of self-improvement and self-pampering. But just stay quiet and receptive. Listen, because Spirit has some great messages coming to you this week. Pay attention. They will come in many forms, numbers, animals, plant life, even repetitious things that maybe you'll hear sayings on TV and then hear someone else say the exact same thing. This may be a time, if you don't do it already, that you may want to start a journal where you're journaling your experiences of your spirituality, because it's about to, it's about to go off. So we got to be prepared. Okay. Now, can't find what I did with my cards. Oh, they're there. Now, we're going to get some guidance from Spirit as to where our mind is, where our hearts are, where our souls are, and then where they need to be. So Spirit, please give us some idea as to where our hearts are this week, where they should be anyway. Oh, what a pretty card. Leap of faith. You see that? It's really just a stunning card. It has a fairy, and she's leaping off onto something. Granted, she has wings, but she's walking a tightrope is what she's doing, of spider web, and under her is a net, a little spider web net. So it's saying, because we're doers. Those of us in this collective, we are doers. We like to get things done. We like to take care of business. We like to make sure that what's going to happen happens the way it's supposed to. And we like to control the situation. And that card's 22, by the way, which is a master number. And I think what they're saying is, if this is a time of receptivity, and this is a time of just going into yourself, pampering yourself, and letting yourself reap the benefits of your gifts for once, and just have faith that the next step, those changes, you're probably getting a lot of 555s lately. The number 5 repetitiously, as I look at the clock, it actually says 9:55. So these changes are coming, and they are massive, but they are not to be feared. And we tend to be people who take on change pretty well. Or even if we don't like change, when it does come, we handle it very well. So Spirit's telling us, let it go. Take a leap of faith and just relax this week. Things are going to be taken care of. So maybe you have something that you were supposed to be doing, you feel you're supposed to be doing, and something is telling you or something is telling you you need to do it. Spirit's saying, let it go for now. Let it go this week. Absorb what you need to absorb. Take it in. You'll know when it's time to act. Don't do anything. So this week, do not make any big decisions. If you're offered a promotion or a new job, or something comes across an email that there's a job offer, this is not the week to take it. It may be the week to research it. It may be the week to pray on it and think about it. This is not the week to make that decision. Somebody asks you to marry them this week, do not say yes or no. You're planning to have a child, so maybe you're doing basal thermometer method, things like that. Maybe this week you don't put you're not trying. Maybe you don't do checking your temperature, things like that. If you're going to make love to your significant other, just make love to your significant other. Don't worry about the outcome of it. Do not make any decisions, great decisions. Do not sign on a house this week. Do not sell a house this week. Do not buy a car this week. Spirit is absolutely distinctly saying, those of you who are guided to this particular reading, this is not your week to make any big changes or any big decisions. This is your time to let go and let God. I'm going to clarify that for us. Oh, yeah. It's the 10. I'll show you. It's the 10 of Cups, 10 of Water in this particular deck. And This is saying this is your time to be with your family. This is your time to be with loved ones. Let the other things go. Pamper yourself. Enjoy life this week. Enjoy being with those you love. Cherish. This is not a time to worry about work. This is not a time to worry about tasks. This is not a time to get the house cleaned, top to bottom. This is a time, especially this weekend, to just chill and maybe take your kids to a movie. Maybe have a family dinner together. And actually it makes sense because next week is Thanksgiving, which is the perfect time to be around family and loved ones. But this is saying don't worry so much about the dinner and how perfect it is. This is a time to just be happy and sit with your family and laugh and talk with them. This is not the time to make sure every little thing is perfect at that dinner table. That if something came out a little burned and you're crying about it or you're really upset, who cares? Because that's not what Thanksgiving is about in the first place. Thanksgiving is about being grateful. And one of the highest vibrations that exists, you'll hear me say that 1,000 times in 1,000 videos, is gratitude. And this is a day that we actually take to celebrate gratitude and being grateful. Okay? Where are we in our head space? That was our heart space. Ooh, celebrate differences. Celebrate differences. I hope the light's not messing. This is a beautiful, unicorns are like my favorite thing, and dolphins. This card is like everything I love on it. I think there's doves, and there's some sacred geometry right there with the shell. There's an hibiscus, if that means anything to anyone. Lots of rainbow. It's just a really cool card. Like a poster of this in my office. So this is where our mind space is supposed to be. And I think that goes back to our heart's supposed to let go, and we're supposed to just be with family. And sometimes in those times, especially if you're seeing family members that you don't see very often, you're seeing your siblings, and maybe one of them drives you crazy, you feel judgment, or you feel the need to judge them, this is a time to let bygones be bygones. Your mind needs to be in a space of being present and enjoying the moment. So if you're taking care of yourself and you're pampering yourself and you're not liking what you see in the mirror, if you're taking a spiritual bath, this is time to let that go and love yourself and see yourself as the true beautiful goddess or God that you are. If you are around people at work next week, for the short work week we all have, it's a time to be in a place of unconditional love. So if your boss comes up to you and says something that drives you insane and you want to scratch their eyes out because they're triggering you, sit back, take a deep breath, and try not to look through your eyes at them, but look through your eyes through them and come at your boss with unconditional love. That doesn't mean you have to love your boss or say I love you or be best friends. It means come from a place of unconditional love. Because when you do that, you'll see your perspective change. You'll see that what they're saying is not personal, that they shouldn't trigger you, that there's no reason for it, and whatever is upsetting you about them is something that is being reflected back at you that bothers you about yourself. Because who are they? They don't go home with you. They can't take your birthday away. They are insignificant, and though they may be annoying and they may be cruel or all the things that people in authority might be, let's take this time because it's your job is to start teaching others, to start awakening the collective. So who's to say your boss isn't the first person that you're supposed to do that with? And you'll see their behavior change towards you. I promise you. Even if it's just for that day. If you come at them from a place of love, you will see their personalities change. It's a very strange phenomenon. I'm going to clarify that. Renewal. So I do think, as much as what I'm getting about people who come into your life that might trigger you, this is absolutely about family. And the renewal card is the resurrection card, or the judgment card in other tarot decks. And this is about apologies. This is about letting bygones be bygones. This is a time to just come at everyone with unconditional love. Forget those things from the past. Forget what your relatives may have said or done to upset you in the past, and try to let it go. Even if they don't, you're a starseed. You're fully capable of doing that. You do that. You step up. You be the bigger person. Okay? Now, I'm going to read from our Divine Feminine, which is where our soul is supposed to be, our soul space. And it is also, it seems like this whole reading was homework from Spirit, but this deck, I love this deck. It's so pretty. This part of the message is all about where our soul space is and what we can do this week to enhance our path as starseeds. We can speed through our starseediness. I'm not going to come out. These cards are very soft. Oh, wow. Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life. Oh, okay. This kind of goes back to what their very first card was. Can you see? Did you get to see that? Good. She's beautiful, right? Teresa of Avila. And I don't know if you remember, but where'd it go? Where'd it go? So that was from our first part, the energy. And then we go to our leap of faith. So Teresa of Avila is Our Lady of Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. So I think that's just echoing, again, what this whole reading is about. Trusting, taking that leap of faith, going within, pampering yourself, taking care of your body, loving unconditionally, not acting. I should say not reacting, but acting if you have to, not making any big choices, any big decisions. This is the time to be receptive and to listen to your inner voice, to listen to your higher self, to listen to the messages from Spirit and your guides and our ascended masters, because we're about to embark on a very big journey. It's exciting. It's going to be fun. We get to be who we were born to be. And you can't get much better than that. This week, go within yourself. Be quiet. Listen to what people say. Take it in and process it. Really process what you hear. Even small children. I'm actually getting a strong message specifically about small children. Instead of trying to tell them about life and stories and this is how things are, just listen. You know, I know we listen to kids, but maybe this week we really listen to what they're saying and just take it in, because they're so pure. And what you hear, they say, out of the mouths of babes, that's so true, because they're so pure and they say exactly what's on their mind, and they're the closest thing to Spirit. So this week, listen with ears of love. See with eyes of love. Think with a mind of love. And come at everything from your heart center. Especially, and I can't say this enough, especially for yourself. See yourself with love. Feel yourself with love, and fill yourself with love. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a treat, a good, healthy body treat. It doesn't have to cost money. It can be a nice, long spiritual bath with some nice meditation music and candles. Do something good for yourself alone. Meditate. Maybe you start your journal and start writing down those synchronicities and signs. Maybe write them down with the date so that you can go back and see at this time of your life if the synchronicities were repeating, and then you can notice what was going on at this time in your life and say, oh, that's why I was seeing that number over and over again, and that's why I kept seeing that animal at that time. That's great. It starts to set a pattern for you so you can really see how you're being spoken to. So just try it. It doesn't have to be anything grandiose or paragraphs or write a novel. Just jot it down. Write it in your notes in your phone. Whatever. I'm going to give us one more card from the Divine Feminine because I don't know, feel the need to. Sarada Devi, I hope I said that. This is the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. Okay, so they can't be saying that. I'm thinking a lot of people are going to be with their family next week and they're going to be stressing about it, and there might be some animosities going on there with family members, and Spirit wants you to say, just love your family, love them for who they are, and appreciate them, and know how much they love you even if they don't act like it. We're the bigger people. You're the Starseeds. This is your time. This is your time. Relax, enjoy yourself, love yourself, and have a wonderful, peaceful, happy, and healthy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.